Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to part 4 of my PneumaticCraft mod spotlight. This episode solely dedicated to drones. Drones is really cool and we're going to start playing around with them in here in just a minute. I can't wait to show you guys what all is possible. I've got a build set up right over here, kind of ready to go with drones, and I'll show you what they can do. Alright guys, let's take a look at drones. This is complicated stuff. But it's really not that hard, and once you get the feel for it, you'll be amazed at how extremely powerful this can be. So let's take a look at what's involved, shall we? Basically what we have here is a way to program using this interface and these different puzzle pieces here to make drones, which are these little nifty guys, do all kinds of cool stuff. So what can we do with the drone? Lots. They can do a ton of things, and I'm going to show you how to program them right now. So in order to get started, first off, you're going to need this programmer block, which is probably a little bit expensive, but not too terrible. You can see here it requires some plastic and a printed circuit board and some turbine rotors, which require turbine blades, all kinds of other cool stuff, right? So that's going to get you the programmer. You're also going to need some drones, which is a printed circuit board and some more turbine rotors. So that's going to get you the actual drones that you need to be able to do the stuff that you want to do. Then you're going to need these puzzle pieces. Now, programming puzzle pieces are not terribly easy to get. You're going to need some printed circuit boards, so get familiar with the concept of printing circuit boards, and then you're going to need certain dies of plastic, these things right here. Okay. Once you've got all that, you're able to create 4 of each of these types of different puzzle pieces. Now, each puzzle piece represents a different action. All drones are going to have to start with a start. Now, most of these actions are shaped here. So you can see there's an action for entity attack, and that's going to attack any entities in the range. If you want to see what it's all about, you can see right here. So this module can be used to kill certain entities in a certain area. Defining an entity filter isn't required, and I'll go into some of the details about that. There's other pieces like dig, and what dig does, well, dig out an area. You can designate that the drone will dig out an area in blocks. You can also designate place. An area can place blocks. You can designate picking up items within an area, etc., etc. So these guys that are kind of like the bigger pieces, these are the guys that are going to be used for actual actions. You can also export items to an inventory or import items from an inventory. What that means is if the drone is carrying items, he can dump them into an inventory. If he's not carrying anything, he can pick items up from an inventory. And there's finally a go-to location that will make it actually move to a specific place. Then there's kind of like modifiers, and that's what the area, text, and item filter are all about, and I'll show you that in a minute. So let's make an extremely simple drone. All I want to have this drone do is go to an area, okay? So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to drag the go to command underneath the start. And what that is, you can right click for options. You'll be able to set when the drone should move on to the next puzzle piece, when he's done arriving or when he's done departing. So basically, if he's sitting here and I want him to go over here, for example, let's say I want him to go to the location where this cobblestone is. When should he start doing his next action? When he's done leaving his current location or when he arrives? So by default, it's when he arrives. Okay. Now there's no area currently defined for him to go to. So in order to do that, we need to take the area command here. And we can drag this guy and we're going to modify the go to by putting it on the right side of the go to function. That's important. It's different if you put it on the left, even though it fits. And I'm going to show you what that's all about in a minute. So we're going to go to and we're going to define an area. How do we define an area? Well, it's really simple. First, we take a GPS tool, which you guys have seen, and right click on the block that you want them to go to. Now it's important to note that drones can't go to a space that's already occupied by a block. So if you want them to go here, right click on the block and then remove it. Okay. Now we're going to right click on the area function. We're going to select GPS 1 and it's going to say, hey, give me the GPS tool that has the block you want to go to. All right, all you have to do is left click on the GPS tool and then escape out. And you can specify some more options if you're going to a bigger area. But for now, we just want him to go to that one block. And if you want to see where he's going to go, you click Show Area. And when you do that, you're going to see this nifty little green cube show up. And it's going to sit there for a few seconds to indicate that this is the area that the drone is going to go to. This is probably the most basic program you can make. And if we go ahead and want to program a drone, all we have to do is place the drone inside this little inventory here. And you can see an option, Export to Drone. Now, everything we've done so far has not used any of these puzzle piece items in here. But when you export to drone, what it's going to actually do is take puzzle pieces out of your inventory and insert them into the drone. So as you can see, it's telling you it requires one start, one go-to location, and one area. As you can see, I have 63 start, 64 go-tos, and I have, let's see, another area somewhere in here. There we go, 63 areas, okay? Now notice that if I don't have the areas in my inventory, it's indicating that with red text. Now that I've picked them back up, it's indicating it with green text. So you need to have these items in your inventory in order to program each drone. If you want to get another drone programmed, you're going to need another start, go to, and area. So if I click the export button here, note that it took one of each item here, 62, 63, 62 now, and the drone, as we can see on the tooltip, is programmed with start, go to location, and area. So all he's going to do when I place him down is fly over to that area. Hooray! Good job, Mr. Drone. Now, this drone is actually pretty smart. He needs to have air pressure in him, and the way to get air pressure in there is to stick him in a charging station. Luckily, if there's a charging station nearby with a dispenser upgrade, the drone will know that he's getting low on energy and start moving over there. Let's demonstrate that now. What I'm going to do is get another empty drone, but this guy is going to have 0 bars of pressure, so he's not charged up at all. Now if I go ahead and insert the program in here, export to drone, he's first off going to get stuck. He doesn't have any air pressure, so he can't move at all. So to demonstrate this ability, I'm just going to give him a very, very small amount, like 0.1 bar. There we go. So now he's going to know to go to that location. However, first thing he's going to do, because he's so low on air pressure, is he's going to go over to the charging station and start charging. You can see that the charging bar is dropping a little bit, and we can't tell by looking at him, but we can see that he's actually charging up by grabbing him with the pneumatic wrench, and we can see that he's now got 2.1 bars. Cool. Is that enough? Yeah. Now he's going to go over there and just hang out, and once he gets low, he's going to go back, recharge, and come back over here. Awesome. I like that. So that's how you can specify to the drone, hey, go ahead, get charged up again. It needs to have the dispenser upgrade in the charging station in order for him to be able to automatically hook up to that thing. Pretty cool, right? Now that's the most basic thing a drone can do. We just programmed him to start and then go to a specific area. Let's see some more fancy stuff. Now before we get much further, I want to show you an important part of the heads-up display that's available in the pneumatic helmet. This is related to the entity tracker. If you have the entity tracker installed, which I do, you'll be able to see what drones are currently thinking. So if we put our mouse tooltip over the drone, we'll be able to see that he's currently activating the go-to function. And if we wait for this to go, we'll see how much pressure he's got in there, etc. So right now the go-to function, it's what's currently being run, and we can see that on the screen. Very cool. So right now we're waiting for him to fill up his bar pressure, and if we wanted to, we could pick him up and place him back down. And now if we look at him, we'll be able to see that he's actually heading over to this location. So that go-to existed here. So he automatically found the nearby machine that he could charge from, and then he decided, now I'm going to go over here and just hang out in this location. It's a very good way to see what your drones are trying to do, and it's a great troubleshooting tool as you start building more advanced stuff. So I'm going to take this off for now so that my screen UI isn't too cluttered up, and we're going to see some more advanced stuff. Let's take a look at, I don't know, how about the dig function? So all you have to do, as you saw, was drag things out of this right-hand area. To get rid of stuff, you can either pull out from the bottom here, and as you can see, it grabbed everything that was already connected. If you want to separate individual pieces, that's also possible. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to specify a dig function, and then I'm going to go ahead and specify the area that I want to dig. Okay? So how do we do this? Well, first we can right-click the option. What order we want to dig in. We can dig the closest block, or we can dig from low to high or high to low. I'm going to go with from high to low. That sounds like a cool area. Next up, I have to specify an area. So let's say I wanted to dig out a 3x3 hole here. Well, I could right-click here, and then I could right-click here with this other GPS tool. Okay. Now what that's going to do is it's going to cover these 3x3 area of blocks. Okay. Let's demonstrate this like so. But let's say I wanted it to go down like 5 blocks lower. Well, I'd have to dig all the way down and go and find that bottom block, and that would be a hassle. Ugh, I hate everything about that. Luckily, you can shift right-click on a GPS tool to manually set the coordinates. So I've already captured the coordinates right here, which is 13 by 65 by 598, right? Let's see, 1565, 598, 1565, 598. Cool. Now, if I want to bring this down a little bit, let's go down to 60. Okay. So now my GPS tool ranges from 1365, 600, which is here, okay, to 1560, 598. So what that should do is it should encompass all the blocks. let's take a look at how this works. So we just have to go over here, right click on area. We're going to select GPS position 1, that's going to be this guy. Select GPS position 2, and that's going to be this guy. Okay, so now it knows which ones it's going to do. There we go, and that looks good. Cool, and you can see the area is filled. So that's going to, everything inside the entire area is going to be affected by this dig program. You could also change other area types like frame, walls, sphere, line, X wall, Y wall, Z wall, and we can demonstrate that in just a minute. If we hit show area here, it's not going to help too much because the blocks that it's showing are actually inside of the blocks right now, but if we look underneath here, we'll actually see that it is going down. Cool. So let's fill this thing back in and get ready to have our drones dig it out. You ready? I'm going to go ahead and get this drone over here, and I'm going to export the program. Ta-da! So now we went ahead and got stuff. Awesome. Note, by the way, that I should have gotten back my go-to. Yes, I did. Now I'm back up to 62 go-tos, and this guy is ready to run. Let's see what he does. Dun 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 dun. Go, Mr. Drone, go. And he's going to just go over there and start chewing up the ground. Look at that. Nice. Because I specified to do from top to bottom, he's going to break all the blocks on top first and then proceed down. Now, what's cool about this is these drones are a little bit smart. Let's get ourselves another drone and program him identically. Go, Mr. Drone, go. Now we've got two drones doing the same operation. And they're actually kind of smart enough to multitask. So they'll try not to break the exact same block at the same time. Now, because I told them to break, top level first, sometimes they do go ahead and break the same block at the same time, but they also kind of try not to. So I think this is something that he might still be working on, but generally they do try to avoid doing the same task at the same time. It's not always 100% perfect because, that's pretty tricky to get working, but it's actually pretty darn good the way it works. Very nice, right? And of course, the more work you're giving your drones, the more they're going to do. So as we can see here, it looks like they're getting right down to about Y level 60. I'm guessing that's where they're at now, and they should be almost done mining out the area that I told them to clear out. How cool is that, huh? I love it. So now they should be pretty much done. And they're just going to sit exactly where they are. If I was smart, maybe I would have added a go-to function at the end of that to have them come back up top once they've finished operating. And as you've seen, simply right-click with the wrench to get them back. So now let's demonstrate how we can use this in tandem with another smart system. I'm going to go ahead and keep this area block here, which already contains the points. I'm going to get rid of dig, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an item pickup block. So let's see. Item pickup, that's the pink one here. So item pickup, and inside the same area. So any entity blocks that drop in that area, any items that land there, are going to be picked up by this drone. Cool. So what I can do is indicate the item pickup, and we can right-click for options. Right now, the only options are to show what area is going to be picked up in. And again, I've kind of filled that area back in, by the way. Partially filled it back in, but we'll be able to see that if we come over here and just do a show area on which items are going to be picked up in, and we should see that block there is filled in, as well as everything below, because we used the same area block that we used for the dig. Now the next thing I want to show you guys is inventory export. What this does is it exports items from the drone's location to an inventory. So let's find one of those guys. Inventory export. So what I'm going to do is after item pickup, we're going to go ahead and do inventory export. Cool. We're going to place down a chest. So let's get one of those and get this set up. I'm going to place the chest right over here. What I'm going to do is right-click with the GPS tool on the chest to indicate its location, and then I need to specify the area to export items to. So we can see here which sides we can export to. So, some eye-sided inventories, it's more important to export to the top or bottom or the sides, like furnaces, for example. If we were collecting cobblestone and wanted to smelt it, we could go ahead and handle that. And we can also show area. I haven't designated the area yet, but once I do, by right-clicking here, select GPS 1, that's this tool, and show area on that, we should see, there we go, the green cube in there indicating that things are working. Awesome. So now we should have a drone that's going to item pickup in the area over there, and then it's going to export to inventory on the chest. So let's give this a shot again. I've got my drones that are both set to dig right now. I'm actually going to change it up a little bit, and I'm going to have this guy export to drone. Okay, so it will be returning my dig area, and it's going to be using some other stuff. Now this drone is set to pick up items in this area. So let's first off have this drone start digging again. Go to town, little buddy. Thank you. And you are going to set to go start collecting items. Now, as item entities drop in that area, he's going to fly over there, he's going to find them and pick them up and deposit them in the chest. Look at him go. Nice. So you can see him collecting the cobblestone that lands there. Pretty sure they can only carry one type of item at a time, so you're going to want to, keep an eye on that. He won't be able to pick up the dirt and the cobblestone at the same time. Once he's deposited the cobblestone, he'll be able to come back and get the dirt. Nice. He can obviously carry more than one dirt item at a time. There he goes. He's picking up items like a champ. You can see I only partially refilled in this area to demonstrate this pretty easily for you guys. So one drone programmed to dig out an area, another drone programmed to pick up items. Now, puzzle pieces are obviously sequential, so if you wanted to, you could program the same drone to do both. What you could do is have the one drone dig out the whole area, and then after he's done digging, program him to pick up the items. And what that would look like is pretty similar to what we've got here, except we just move this down, and we'd insert a dig location right here, and then like this, that, and that. Okay, and we'd of course have to have an area piece as well. But of course, it would take a while for him to finish the digging program, so if you're digging out a large area, some items might despawn by the time he finishes digging and gets around to picking up. And a cool feature is that if you've already got your area defined where you want to pick up items and you want to set the same area to be the dig, hold middle click and drag, and you'll see that it'll pull out an area that copies the exact same settings on there. So now that we've already designed this, we've got a drone that does both. So all I need to do is get yet another drone, pressure 10 bar, and we're going to export this program like so. And what I'm going to do just for demonstration purposes is clear up this guy. Come here, you, and you. I'm just going to sit down a few pieces of cobble here, and then we'll see how this works. Like so. Okay, so we've got the drone set to pick up items, export to inventory area 2. This guy is set to dig area as well, so this is the one I want. So what he should do is he should go down there and dig out all the cobblestone, and then once he's finished digging out the cobblestone, he should pick up all the cobblestone that he dug out. Pretty nifty, right? Let's wait for him to finish. So there we go. He just finished all the digging, and now he's doing the picking up. So these drones basically act sequentially. They're going to go from one step to the next, and now he's just waiting for more items to land. And because he's just sitting there waiting for more items to land, if we were to, for example, place a piece, he's going to go over and dig it out again because he's still activating that same program, and he's going to pick it up and bring the item over there. Awesome. Look at that. So he's going to continuously dig until we pick him up, or give him other instructions if his programming was such that he had other instructions to do. These drones are already fun, and I don't think I've even shown you a quarter of what they can do. So now we've seen how to dig, how about how to place items? I guess what we should first do is import or pick up items from an inventory. So import from inventory. Cool. What we're going to do is, again, designate an area here. So let's find the area connector. And I'm going to go find this chest. This one looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is give this chest a bunch of cobblestone, just so we have as much as possible. There we go. Cool. Plenty of cobblestone available in the chest. Perfect. Now, let's get the GPS coordinate tool. There we go. This is the chest that we want to get items from, so we're going to specify select GPS 1. That's this guy, and now he knows that this is the area to get items from when he wants to pick them up. After he's got items, we want to tell him to go ahead and place them. Dun, dun, dun. So placing will obviously place items, and we can specify an area. We can also specify from low to high to low, closest block, and place on bottom, top, whatever you want. What we're going to do now is designate a new area to place in. So let's get the area thing ready, and what I'm going to do is grab a little bit of GPS stuff. Let's fill in this hole for a moment, just to make this easier to demonstrate. What I'm going to do is say I want to build from here all the way back to, I don't know, here sound good? Okay, so if we designate that area, we'll see that when we right click on this guy, we can select GPS 1, select GPS 2, and show area, and what we'll see is an area that's pretty much filled in. Now remember, it's going to be the areas underneath those blocks because it's the blocks themselves that we clicked on. You know what? I actually want this to be up a little bit higher, so let's increase the Y level by several blocks worth. And come over here to the area again, select GPS 2, and we're going to choose this guy once more. Cool. Now when we show the area, it should show quite a lot of blocks about to be filled in. But you know what? I really don't want this to be completely filled with blocks. I want to maybe build something like a house. So let's go to the area setting here, and we're going to do walls. Show area. Oh, cool. Now we've got walls. Look at that. So it's going to be empty on the inside, and it's going to fill the rest of the interior. Now there's many other options that we can go with if we want. We can do frame, which we show area here. It'll give us an idea of what the frame looks like. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Frame, it's pretty obvious. Let's see what a sphere would look like. Show area. Okay, that's obviously a little bit larger of a sphere. Definitely a little bit different from what I expected, but there's probably something weird that I did there to make the sphere look like that. Line, show area. That will just be a line of blocks going from there up to there. You can also specify lines along different axes. So if I did an X wall and showed area, we'd see it would be something like that. If we check the area for Y wall, we'd see it would be something like this. And finally, Z wall would be something a little bit different. So you're going to have to experiment with these a little bit to get the exact design you want, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to specify that I want this area to be walls. So show that area again, and we'll see that it's going to build a nice little house for us. But you know what? I would love to have a door in my house. Let's see, where do I want this door to be? Probably like this block and this block, right? Alright, how can I manage to make that happen automatically? Well, I guess I could put a dig pattern there after I went ahead and built it, but that just seems like a waste, right? Let's show that area again and let's see exactly where you're going to build. Yeah, you know what I actually kind of want? I want this area to be. Alright, that'll be a neat door, right, to walk into that area with? Cool. So I'm going to grab the GPS tool. I'm going to right-click this one here and this one here, and then we're going to close this area off. I'm going to grab another area section, and I'm going to configure it with GPS 1 and GPS 2, and it's going to be filled, and I'm just going to show that area to demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about. Now, what's cool, remember I told you earlier, you always have to put your areas on the right. What's the left side do? The left is an exclusion. So what I'm going to do is insert this area cube right here on the left side, and that guy is going to exclude the points that are specified here. So let's demonstrate, shall we? If I grab this drone and export to drone, he should be ready to grab items from the inventory and place them in the pattern that I designated, excluding this pattern. So this pattern will be excluded from the building. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Oh, that's the wrong drone. Whoops. Come here, you. This is the one I wanted to demonstrate with. Alright, here we go. So he should go over to the chest, grab the items that he needs, and start building. Go, buddy. Oh, look at him go. Nice job. I'm going to program the other drones that I have available here. We'll export this one, and we'll export this one as well, so that they're both going to help him out. Go. Start building. Get your cobblestone and build that house, shall we? Nice. Look at them go. That is awesome. So you can see, obviously, they're doing a good job of building exactly the way we want. Oh, looks like this guy got a little bit low, so he's going to go ahead and go down there and just, you know, take it a little bit easy, start filling himself back up with his pressure, and then once he has enough pressure filled back up, he'll come back and finish building the house for us. Cool. Nice work, guys. Looking pretty good. And looks like this drone's just about finishing up here. This other one went and got more stuff. And he's just finishing to build out the house. Now, just like the digging drones, if you go ahead and remove some blocks, they will intelligently go fill them back up for you, as long as they're still running. Now, obviously, I did a little something wrong with the exclusion program there, so let me figure out what I did wrong, and I'll be right back. All right, as you can see, the exclusion area was not properly set. It wasn't positioned correctly in there. So let me go ahead and reprogram these two drones. We're going to export to drone, and we'll get these guys ready to do things properly. I'm going to get you out of there. What I'm going to do is just clear out this whole area just to demonstrate the way this will work. So what they should do now is properly fill the walls of the area as demonstrated, but go ahead and ignore the area that I excluded. So let's see what happens. There you go. Go get some stuff and start building out that area for me. See? They excluded the area properly. They're not going to care about blocks being here. They're just going to keep that excluded from their build pattern. So as we can see, now that I didn't have it positioned just right in there. It was just off center a little bit. So that's what caused the problem with it not actually positioning things correctly. Pretty cool, right? So basically, anytime you do stuff on the right side of a place block like this, it's going to include that, right? So the area here that's included is the area that was built. And then the area on the left is an exclusion. It removes that area from the building pattern. We can do this also with something like the item filter. Let's see what the item filter is all about. By the way, another nice feature, if you've completely cleared out your program and you have a drone that's already programmed, you can use this button up here, import from drone, and it's going to pull everything back in exactly the way it was. Cool, right? Hey, you know what? I'm tired of that house being there. Come over here, you. Get rid of this piece like that. Let's go find the dig thingy. There it is. You know what? I don't even need this thing. Go over there. We're going to dig out that whole area that we had already mapped out. That area thing is still there. And then, you know what? Let's go ahead and do an item drop off. Where is that at? Inventory export. So I want to clear out and put everything in that chest. So area here, set GPS to this guy. That should be clearing out this thing. And the area of this, we're going to set to filled, show area. That should be clearing out everything here. But you know what I want to do? I want to say, hey, I only want you to remove blocks that are dirt blocks. Maybe that would be a cool thing to do. I don't care about the cobblestone. I just want to remove any dirt because, you know what? Dirt's annoying and gets in my way. I only want you to remove the cobblestone from this section. How can we demonstrate that? So I'm going to put cobblestone around here. Or dirt, I mean. And you know what? I'll put it all like this as well. Sure. Because I've gone ahead and removed the exclusion area, so it's still going to dig in that area. Now what I can use is an item filter. Okay? What I'm going to do is designate and right-click for options. So there's a bunch of stuff we can do here. Use metadata or damage values. So check to handle things a little differently, like different colors of wool. And we can designate a specific metadata value if we want, or we can tell it to ignore metadata. We can also tell it to check or ignore NBT. We can use the OR dictionary if we want. And we can use mod similarity, check to handle items from the same mod as the item that we choose. We can either search our inventory for a specific item, like dirt, or we can search for the item up here, and we could just type in what we're looking for and say, hey, wood's the item I want you to target, right? So there's a couple different options. So I'm going to stick with dirt, and that should be good. So now I have item filter on the dig function. We're going to export to drone. Cool. So this drone should now be programmed to only dig area. In that area that I designated, it's going to dig out the whole thing, but only if the item is dirt. Let's see what happens. There he goes. Nice. So remember, this guy was programmed for the blocks underneath, so he is digging out the blocks underneath because of the way that the area was designated. If we remember here and we show area, we'll see that he's actually properly digging out any dirt blocks, but he's not digging out grass because that's a different block. And he's not digging out the cobblestone either. So that's how you can use the item filter to designate which items to go with. Now, if we want, we could alternate that by putting the item filter on the other side. So where are you at, buddy? Come here, you. You can also hit him with a sword and break them eventually if they take enough damage. But what we could do is alternate this and basically say the following. I'm going to go ahead and do this, put the dirt back here, and what I'll say is I'll just do an exclusion of dirt. So I'll just move this item filter to the left side, make sure it's positioned correctly there, and now it's going to exclude dirt, okay? So now if we punch this guy back in here, export to drone, Now what he'll do is he'll go ahead and start breaking anything that's not dirt. So see how there's going to be dirt underneath here. Remember, he's supposed to start pretty much from the bottom. He won't dig up the dirt. He will dig up cobblestone, but not dirt. Neat, right? Pretty cool. So lots of functionality available here with these drones. Let's see what else we can do. So the final option to check out is Entity Attack. Now we can designate an area to attack. So let's actually say that we want to bring this drone back in here. We're going to import this guy. I'm going to move this area, which shows that whole big area that we had mapped out already before, and then I can plug it right back in there. So if we come over here and show area, we'll see that he's going to attack any mobs or entities that are inside this area. Pretty neat, right? Cool. So any mobs or entities that show up in there should be attacked. Now if we want, we can also filter the attack by using a text function right here. And we can right click this guy to specify the type of mobs or whatever to attack. But you know what? I want him just to attack anything. Export to drone. You're in attack mode. Go and kill things, please. So let's get ourselves some sheep to demonstrate. There you go. Hello, Mr. Sheep. How's it going? Uh-oh, here comes the drone. Look out. Ah, he's attacking me. Alright, I count as an entity. Alright, so make sure that you realize that you, as a player, count as an entity too, so you might get attacked. So maybe I should have used that exclusion filter, but you know what? That's fine. Uh-oh, there he goes. He's going after the sheep. Nice. And he'll continue chasing after him and decide that he's an enemy, and you can see he's locked on. And of course, like I told you guys, if you've got the helmet online, you should be able to see what he's doing to try and figure out why he might be attacking something. So if I go ahead and throw another couple sheep in there, we'll see what's going on. If we track our entities, we'll see, oh boy, there he goes. He's going after stuff again. Nice. Owner direwolf 20, target is sheep, how much pressure he's currently got on, and I believe it's around 1 bar that he needs to drop down to. Oh cool, we lost the sheep target, nice. Once he drops down to about 1 bar, he's going to decide, alright, it's time to refuel. And there he goes, awesome. And he's refueling down there. Cool. Look at him go. Nice job, little drone. So as you guys can see, you could write some really complex and cool programs in here. You could have it build for you, you can have it dig out areas, pick up items, grab items from chests, store items in chests. You could do whatever you want. I only demonstrated some basic stuff. If you wanted, you could have these guys sort items for you if you really wanted to be crazy about it. You could have him picking up different items, moving them from one chest to another. You could have him, import from this chest, export into a furnace, put coal in the bottom of a furnace, put cobblestone in the top of a furnace. You could really do quite a lot with these little drones. They're pretty nifty. You know what? I'm going to do the furnace one just as a demonstration. Sure, why not? I'm going to write a little program on this thing just to show you how cool you can get with it. So let's get some coal, let's get some of this stuff, and what we're going to do is get a furnace ready to cook. Alright guys, so I've got an import from inventory. It doesn't matter which side I import from because I'm grabbing out of this chest. What I'm grabbing is cobblestone. Okay, so let's put our cobblestone and coal in there. We're going to import from the chest. Item filter is cobblestone. So just grab cobblestone from the chest. Then export to the top side of this area, which is the furnace right there. Okay, so export to the furnace on the top, which is where stuff goes in. Then we're going to item filter that with cobblestone. So only cobblestone will be allowed to be imported into the top of the furnace. Then go over and from any side of the chest, same coordinates as this one. Remember, I could middle click to get that same coordinate set up. I item filtered coal. So I said go grab coal and then export that to, let's see, item export, that should be bottom. Okay, so that guy is set to access the bottom side here. Area, right click for options is the furnace, and item filter is coal. So let's go ahead, export this program into this drone and see if it works. Go, Mr. Drone, go. So what he should be doing is grabbing cobblestone and throwing it in the top of the furnace, grabbing coal, throwing it in the bottom of the furnace, and he's doing a good job. Thanks, buddy. You know what? I want him to do one more little trick for me, if I don't mind. Just because I think it would be awesome. I want one more thing. Let's go ahead and do an import from inventory after that. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab from this area, which is the furnace, and we're going to do an item filter. And the item filter will be stone. And then what you're going to do is inventory, export to inventory, and that guy will be an item filter stone. And that's going to be the chest. Cool. That should work. So what we should do now is export that guy, drone's ready to go, do your thing. So what he should be doing now is grab the coal and the cobblestone. So cobblestone goes in there, coal goes in there, and you can see that it actually used up one of the coal there, so he's going to grab it in a minute, but once it's done making the smooth stone, he should go over and grab that, I think. Look at him go! Haha, that's cool. Oh, you know what? I might have programmed him wrong. Let's see. I might need to just adjust this real quick and say pull from one of the sides. Okay. Cool. So there he goes. He's going to go. He's going to fill up the cobble and the coal, and then he should grab the stone there. Oh, I think he's going now. There we go. He grabbed the stone. So I just had to make a little change there. So let's throw a few pieces in here and that. I think what happened was he was holding on to coal from his last trip. So there we go. Now he's going to sit there and wait for the stone. So got to be a little bit specific about how to do things, but it's something that you guys, I think, are really going to enjoy playing with. There we go. He grabbed the smooth stone out of there, and he's depositing it in the chest. Nice job, dude. So this wraps up the mod spotlight for PneumaticCraft. There's a lot of cool stuff, as you can see. I'm really excited about these drones. I think there's some really cool potential here for automation and for doing a lot of nifty stuff with them. I definitely would like to start playing with them and seeing what kind of cool things we can have them do for us, like building rooms, digging out areas, picking up items, smelting stuff. I think, as you can see, there's a pretty long list of stuff that you could program if you got really into this whole thing, right? So for now, this is Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you guys have enjoyed this mod spotlight, and as always, take it easy.